world of technology is growing at a rapid rate, and information technology is growing even faster. Webcast is one such technology that is spreading through the Indian market. With its emergence in the mid-90s, webcasting has been a successful tool for communication for businesses across the world. Webcast, in effect, is a media presentation distributed over the internet using stream media technology to distribute a single content source to many simultaneous viewers.
A webcast is nothing but a broadcast of audio, video and PowerPoint presentation over the internet. It is similar to watching an event live on a television, where the viewers can basically connect with you from wherever they are, and the event goes live from a particular location to the viewers sitting in the other remote location and are able to ask questions and interact with the speaker live and in real time.
Though webcast as a concept is not very old in India, more and more businesses want to adopt this medium for communication purposes.
Webcasting as a service is about 14 years old in India. However, I have been in the industry for almost 10 years now. Webstream was incorporated in the year 2006, and we started off from a garage office for almost 6 months, and now we have offices across the major metros in India, Australia and the UK across a span of 6 years.
This is where Adnan Gandhi's Webstream Communications has changed the dynamics of webcasting and taken it to another level.
We saw a tremendous need for businesses to communicate both internal and external, and there was a need to reach out to these audiences which were spread across the length and breadth of the country. And our vision was to basically bridge this entire need and also allow businesses to meet these three main objectives that they had in terms of austerity measures also during the recession, and also for the fact that every organization is looking to cut down on certain communication costs. So having said that, the three main objectives that we wanted to meet with the creation of a platform were reducing the communication cost, reducing the travel cost, as well as communicating in less time. For example, a particular product launch would take about 20 days to be executed across the country. The same thing could technically be done in 2 hours by way of doing a webcast from a central location to the receiving locations, and the entire agenda can be completed in just 2 hours vis-a-vis 20 days that it would take them for completing their entire product launch. So what we were trying to do here is we were trying to bring down the communication time as well as the cost, and which is where the entire ideation of this platform came across.
With the experience of executing over 3,000 webcast events in the last 5 years, Adnan comes from humble beginnings.
I started working when I was barely 15, and my first job was to sell juicers and slicers door to door in the slums of Mumbai. That is when I actually got exposed to the real world, and I realized how difficult is it to survive and make a living. My father passed away when I was just 18, and at that point of time I had just two choices: either to succumb to the situation and ask for support, or be the support itself. And I chose the latter, and rest just followed. Of course, family has been a great strength, and my mother, who fears nothing in life and is quite a visionary. I'm an electronics and telecommunications engineer with an MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, marketing being the specialization.
Let me brief you guys.
With only a few competitors in the current market space, Adnan believes in providing a solution rather than a service.
At Webstream, we believe in providing a solution and not just a service, and that's been one of our biggest USPs. When we meet a client, we ask him about his core objective and his outcome that he wishes to achieve from this particular activity or an event, and then we design the solutions appropriately, customize it, and then deploy it.
With state-of-the-art video conference bridging systems and a bandwidth capacity to handle 2 million concurrent viewers in a single webcast, Webstream's technical expertise sets them apart from the competition.
Technology alone does not run an enterprise, relationships do, and that's also been one of our biggest strengths. Also, that one thing that sets us apart from competition is our compression technology, and also our wide experience over the last 6 years with a variety of events that we have executed, and the ability to actually go ahead and troubleshoot a challenge at a live event is what has been our biggest strength.
Here Adnan is going to take us through the back end of a webcast.
So we are at an event which is going to be going live from this banquet to about 30-40 locations across the country, where viewers will watch this particular webcast live over a URL link. What goes behind a webcast are the two important components, which is the audio and the video. These inputs are basically taken inside in an encoder, and from the encoder it is broadcasted to the server, and from the server the viewers watch it over a URL link. So what I'm going to run you through is the components which go at a webcast console. This, what you see, of course, is a microphone, and for an audio input it could be a microphone, it could be your laptop microphone, it could be a video conferencing microphone. The video inputs which we are talking about, we have a video mixer here. Now this video mixer is basically a device which takes the input of all the video cameras in an event site, and then both of these things coincide into the encoder, which is where the stream goes and reaches our server, and from the server it is being viewed by the viewers over a URL link. This is the audio mixer, which is around a 16-channel audio mixer. The output from the audio mixer goes into the encoder. These both are compressed at a bit rate of about 100 kbps and broadcasted live to the viewers over the URL. The PowerPoint presentation which we receive before the event, that is uploaded accordingly on servers, and when the live event is broadcasted, the audio video is synced along with the PowerPoint presentation. So this is how the viewer sees it, and when he sees it, he is able to watch the video and the PowerPoint presentation alongside, and he is also able to send in his questions through a Q&A box in the interface. We have the camera set up here. You can see this as a tripod. This is a 3CCD camera. The output from the camera goes as an input into the encoder. So here you see is a typical room where the guests would sit, and we would have the speaker talking live to a set of people here in this hall. So this is what event site is all about, which is where the production team and the webcast team, they kind of come in together and produce an event live. So the event would technically be going live in the next 3 hours, and the viewers will then watch it live. The delay from the live to the receiving would be about 10 to 15 seconds, which is a normal delay in a webcast platform.
This event is being viewed live not only by the audience seated here, but many others online on their iPads, tabs and smartphones.
It is extremely important for us to have a seasoned team in place, for the simple reason being that in our line of business, there is no second chance. So if we lose time, we lose the entire event, and which is why I involve myself personally in training the technical team. However, on the soft skills side of the story, we have a partner called Image Gurus, led by Ms. Parveen Gandhi, who helps us doing that.
Many industries have understood and seized the opportunity to use the services of Webstream Communications, especially pharma.
We've actually done a lot of pioneering work in pharma, and why I say this is because we were the first ones to evangelize the entire concept of online ECMEs and online international speaker programs, where the speaker was not required to travel down to India and was able to make a presentation live from anywhere in the world to the length and breadth of the country. This saved pharmaceutical companies a lot of cost in terms of their marketing budgets, and they were able to do more events in the same budget as what they would have commissioned for one particular event. And this is where the entire trend kind of started, where pharmaceutical companies basically saw a lot of value and could also bring in a wider choice and a wider variety of speakers from anywhere in the world, because the speaker was not required to travel down to India. And also, even if he would come down and travel down to India, he would only be going to about 5-6 cities, whereas with this particular platform, they were able to go live to about 20, 30, 40, up to 90 cities across the country, and which is where the return over investment was tremendous. Pharma has wholeheartedly embraced these solutions, and now it calls these events by various names such as WebCMEs, ECMEs, webinars, etc., with the central idea of educating doctors across the length and breadth of the country.
With capabilities of executing events in about 98 cities, Webstream has 300 satisfied clients and more in waiting.
As far as however we have been working with them, these guys are very reliable in the sense in terms of the timelines as well as in terms of the work that they deliver. So reliability quotient is very high.
We've always been very satisfied with what Webstream has delivered. So we have never really had to question them in the services that they performed for us. I mean, it has always been on the dot and completely to our satisfaction.
So the quality is whatever we wanted in terms of, the audio, the visual, the connectivity. So we got whatever it was, what was desired. So I think the quality is optimum. I do not know I have not compared it with any other platforms. So I cannot compare it, but whatever we wanted, we got the results. So I think I'm very satisfied with the platform.
Based on the feedback from our audiences, I think their quality is fairly top-notch.
We would give them a project and say, for example, that we wanted to do a webcast, and we have done a webcast locally, getting the doctors from the city itself where the studio was. We have also done a webcast by through an international speaker. So there would be an international speaker as well as a local speaker, and then they would be doing. So the entire coordination of the events, right from entire 360-degree coordination of the events, they have been doing it. So they are capable of doing the whole event.
It so happens that every time we've used their services, we have had given them a very short period of time. So I think they've sort of caught on and been able to deliver at a very short pace of time, a very short period, and very, very rapidly. I think they catch on to the client's requirements quite fast, and they adapt to the surroundings and the kind of situation and venues that we have quite well.
Technical expertise, they are good in terms of ensuring that what are the technical things needed, like say for example when we do a webcast and we have got around 70-80 centers across the country. So what are the technical specifications that you need at each center? So there was no goof up over there, in the sense that they would tell us exactly, and those worked wherever we constituted our CMEs. As well as if there was any issue which arose, they were able to sort it out within a few minutes of time.
Our experiences with them have been for different kinds of events. They have helped us with webcasting to employees of ACC, and this is an all-India organization with units all across the country, including in some fairly remote areas. So they have been able to understand the requirements fairly well. We would spend some time with them trying to explain what our requirements are. The other kinds of events that they've handled for us are, some of them have been just formal speeches and lectures. They have handled seminars. They have handled seminars at external venues. And most recently, they handled for us an excellent bit of video conferencing, where we had a speaker overseas who was linked to an audience here at a 5-star venue. And the connectivity was superb, the quality was superb, so it almost felt as though we didn't feel the absence of the speaker there.
How it has helped us is that in case if we wanted to communicate, we are a pharmaceutical company. We have to communicate scientific information to our doctors who are based across the country, right? And the number of doctors are like kind of huge, about 40,000, 50,000 and so on. So this is one media where in case if we want to communicate any scientific aspect which is newly discovered, or guidelines which are newly updated. So this is the best methodology where we can, which we can use in order to pass on the information within a very short span of time, because in one shot you can actually cover so many doctors. So I think it is going to be very relevant, not only for today but also for tomorrow, when there are time constraints and how to pass on information quickly. I think this is a wonderful methodology.
It opened up a new medium for us, actually. Webcasting opened up a new medium for us. Earlier we were into video conferencing and conference calls, but video conferencing has its limitations in terms of the number of venues you can access at one time. And that's how we came across this particular organization, Webstream. I found them on a search, and they were practically the first organization that I located on that search. Invited them over to see how they can handle this kind of multiple transmission to large numbers of audiences at so many locations. So we moved from video conferencing to webcast fairly smoothly. And that then gave us an opportunity as a powerful medium for internal communication. And most of the times that we have engaged them have been almost all in respect of internal communication. Actually, it made us aware that you don't need to be physically present, particularly if the service that is rendered in either webcasting or in video conferencing is faultless. Then you don't really need to travel or get speakers across. It saves time, it saves money, it saves energy, and it's simpler, yes. And as I said, when the transmission is error-free, you don't miss the people, the live presence of people. Yes, he's a hands-on leader. As I said, we came across his name, the name of his firm, through a web search, just a random Google search. And since then on, we have been dealing with him on a one-to-one basis. So when we think of that firm, in all fairness, we only think of him. But of course, he has a large team working, so we must not undermine the efforts of that team.
A widespread approach to an event makes Webstream Communications a one-stop solution for its clients.
Webstream predominantly was created to offer webcasting services, but over the years we realized that businesses need a one-stop shop professional services company to look after all of their other virtual event needs, and which is why the other 5 divisions came into play. The other 5 divisions are video conferencing, voting pads, transcription, DVD authoring, and event production. In the video conferencing space, we have 3 major services, which is video conferencing room on hire, video conferencing on-site events, as well as video conferencing bridging. We've got a trained team across the country who does the video conferencing setups on-site. Coming to voting pads on hire, this is a particular service where we've got about 1,000 voting pads in the country. Now, these voting pads are given out for small conferences, large conferences, and the audiences basically interact with the speaker with the help of the voting pads. The audiences basically click on the appropriate option or press the appropriate option, and that's how the results are displayed on the screen. DVD authoring is one of those services where after the event is over, we convert the high quality audio and video into a flash-based presentation synchronized with the PowerPoint presentation, and this is given as an input to all the customers or stakeholders or audiences who have not been a part of that event, and they can have a complete run through on what the event was all about and how did the event go and what were the various topics and speakers which were involved in this particular event. The transcription services that we have is basically converting the audio and video shot in a particular event into a text format, which is then given out to the customers or viewers or individuals who are not present at that particular event. Webstream has a network across 90 cities in the country where we have the event production capabilities. So be it your stage, your backdrop, your audio visuals, anything put together, we have a team which is across 90 cities and can take care of any of your event production needs.
With a vision to make Webstream an integral part of various businesses,
the hub location is Delhi. We've got about 3 speakers who go live. Geeta, you need to get the PowerPoint presentation at least 2 days before.
Adnan believes quality of work is what drives Webstream.
At this point, our reputation attached to an event is more important to us than the monies involved. Hence, we treat every event as our very first event. Nothing is departmentalized in Webstream. And till date, I involve myself into client meetings, event execution, and coordination. And at the end of the day, I believe that you've got to be obsessive about the quality, and somewhere I am extremely obsessive about quality of work that is delivered. you.